Right now, my daughter's watching some documentary on the Menendez brothers.
So do you let your children just watch what they want without finding out what they're watching first?
You can't control everything that they watch. You can't control everything that they see.
Yeah, you gotta monitor some things though, because there's some scary things happening right now.
My belief has always been that on dating shows we need people that are a bit older, that maybe they're more emotionally intelligent and they're more mature and they're not looking for opportunities to become influencers. But then you get a case in point of someone like Emily. Emily, I think, sadly, a dating show is not for her. I don't think Married at First Sight or even Love is Blind would be ideal for her. I think she just needs to go out there and hopefully she'll meet someone that, shares the same values and same beliefs in the street. The audacity and the idea that she says she's not going to change anything about herself and she's not going to do anything differently tells you that it's going to be a struggle for her to date. It really is, because in life, in order to grow, you need to learn from your mistakes and you need to learn from your accomplishments. So the idea that she spent all this time, people were calling her out for certain behaviors, and she turns around and says she's not going to change anything. The boys were right to kick her out, especially given how she reacted towards Vince and how he's raising his children. You can never teach someone how to raise their children. You can give your opinions, but the audacity and the idea of the way she sort of talked to him, I didn't like that. And then Donna signed her fate. I'm going to repeat that. Donna signed her fate the moment she went after Devon. His name is... No, she went after... Who did she go after? Oh my God, I completely forgot. The moment she went after Darren. Because he is popular with the girls, and so the idea that she would want to go for the king, I don't know what she was really thinking in that situation, because he is always going to call her name out until he gets her dumped. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Ready to Love, Season 11, Episode 3. I will try and upload Episode 4 soon. I just need to, find a moment to do that. Anyway, so you have, everyone is excited. They're at the skating rink. Tommy comes up. Everybody is there. They're giggly. They're excited. So it was really cute to see. Tony then sort of reveals that people from the second mixer will be coming back. Obviously, 2 people were dumped. Everybody comes back. You have, Bello excited to see Dominic because he says he had a great connection with Dominic. I don't know. I think that's more sexual than anything else. Nicole was excited. She was excited to see Devon. And Devon is a new man. Whatever's happened, he is now a new man and he's presenting himself better. So everybody was just skating around. They were excited, They really were happy to be there and to see one another. Tommy told them that it's a chance for them to sort of mix, and the guys have the opportunity to dump the person that they feel is not ready for love. And it's like, oh, it's about to be messy. People are about to try and put their best foot forward. And we're going to see how that plays out. So everybody skates around. And then eventually we get Chris and Shannon sit down for a chat. He said she's very regal. She is very... well, I don't know how I think she's a pretty girl. Don't get me wrong. I think she's very well packaged, as I used to complain last season about, what was her name? Sahara. So I feel she's very well packaged. She says people always think she's stuck up. And it's like, I sort of get it, but at the same time, I don't get it, because I'm like, what do you do to make people think you're stuck up? What is it? Is it the way you speak to people? Is it the way you treat people? What is it? She comes across as a great girl, so I can't wait to see who she connects with and how that bond will go. You had Donna. This was Donna's biggest mistake in the whole situation, because she sat down with Darius and she said to him, she felt like he was putting on a persona. He wasn't being authentic. He wasn't being himself. And so, she felt he was putting on an act, and he questioned it. And then she turned around and said, all the women think this. And it's like, no. Donna, you should have just sort of looked for a better way to sort of deliver it. The problem with mathematicians, at times they believe 1 + 1 is 2. They don't want you to tell them, 1 + 1 + 1 is 3 - 1 is 2. No, they want to go straight to the point. And so Darius didn't take that very well. And I think he's going to hold on to this for dear life and is going to come after her. Because she said all the women feel the same way. And it's like, well, women like whatever he's delivering. Because I even said it, that he was giving PIMP vibes. And so for her to call him out, I don't think was it. I think she should have called him out in the lounge with Tommy, but I don't think she should have done it to his face, because now he is going to hold on to that, and he's going to keep coming after her and after her and after her until he gets her dumped, because I don't think he received that very well. Tommy then came back and had the conversation with everyone and told them that, they'll be going out on dates with girls that they're not, currently having the strongest connection with, to try and see if there's anything there, or if there's any likelihood something would develop. So he tasks the guys to take the girls on dates, and then he would meet them in the lunch, and they'll decide what to do next. And it's like, ooh, it's about to be messy. Anyway, you have a date with Chris and Vince. They're going to date with Nicole and Emily. And sadly for Vince, Emily doesn't like him. She says she doesn't like him. She already feels some type of way with him because of the way he spoke to her. So she's going to sort of be distant from him. And it's like, I don't get it. I really don't. I think Vince is not bad. I really don't. I think Emily had an issue with him for some reason, and she couldn't get over whatever issue it was. You then had Chris have a conversation with Nicole. They spoke about his tattoos. She was asking him about his tattoos, and he sort of spoke through them that, it's something that's constantly evolving and constantly growing, because he's always adding things onto it, and it's sort of taking a meaning of its own. They were really cute. I loved. For me, Nicole is one of the sweetest girls in the experiment. And sadly, I hope the guys don't break her heart. And sadly, I think Ed is going to be a sort of, a block in the road to love, especially if he feels he's not getting her, because it seems he really likes her and he wants to win her because of the comments in the sort of commitment. Well, in the lounge with Tommy. You then had Emily have this conversation with Vince, where he was asking her, which do you prefer? You asked her, what do you do? And then she's told him, and they said, okay, which do you prefer, the new entry students or the ones that are about to leave college? And she didn't like that. She didn't want to appear as though she was sort of choosy. She was asked to sort of describe the difference between the two. She said, he's asking me like we're in an interview. And it's like, so how do you expect him to get to know you? He's trying to find out about your job, what you like, what you don't like. You have an issue with him just because. You then had Vince say he's got 2 children. He gave their ages. She said she's got a son as well. I think she said he was 24. And then there was this back and forth, because he was saying she's watching the documentary about the Menendez brothers. I think he just said it as an icebreaker, and she then decided to go in because she said, you should be monitoring what she watches. And it's like, girl, a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, if I want to watch what I want, you're not going to stop me, because I'm going to find a way of going around you. Unless you take every gadget away from me, I'm still going to find some way to watch it. So the idea that you think you can control a 17-year-old doesn't make sense to me. And she was sort of saying to him, you need to phone your child every week. And it's like, ma'am, not this day and this age. People barely speak on the phone. Barely. They send messages, yeah, but they barely speak on the phone. So the idea that you want him to be sort of checking up on his daughter every week, and you're sort of imposing what you did with your child, doesn't make sense. Just because it worked for you, it doesn't mean it's going to work for him. His children might not be as receptive to what you say as your child. So I didn't like that conversation. You had Ed meet up with Donna. I thought they looked cute. And then this chat was a bit flirty. And so he then asked her, what's your 5-year plan? She went into her plan. Her plan was to graduate with a PhD, to publish it, to have kids, and be married. And then it seemed they were aligned until she spoke about the fact that she's spiritual, she's not religious. He didn't like that, because he is a religious man, and he wants a woman that's going to be religious. So it's like, I don't know. I really don't get it, and I don't understand why it should be that big an obstacle. But then at the same time, maybe because, I am of the same belief that, as long as you're a good person, that's all that matters. You Bible thumping, or you sort of holding up any religious book and sort of wanting everybody to think you are it, is not it for me. And so I sort of get where Donna's coming from. Maybe that makes me spiritual then. Oh, wow, something new. Anyway, we have Bello and Dominic meet, and they have this chat, the hug, everything was a bit too much. I think there's a sexual attraction, but I don't know whether that will go past that. I think this is where it ends. And so they spoke about the fact that, he was scared that she was going to be dumped. They spoke about the fact that he is Muslim, her dad is a pastor. And then she was sort of saying, so do you expect your wife to sort of wear the same clothes that Muslim women do and whatever? And he said no. He's open to his wife sort of wearing whatever they want. And it's like I don't think Dominic would sort of align with his religious values because of the way that she dresses. I am for people dressing their body how they feel is best for them, and so the way she dresses, and I think the Muslim culture, I don't think they align. So I don't know how he's going to look at that. I really don't. They then spoke about the fact that about children, and she said she's had two miscarriages. So the idea of having children is something that scares her. She asked him about surrogacy. He said yes. I think she's 44. So either way, it would be very risky for her at her age to sort of fall pregnant. And so I don't get when they say surrogacy, are they saying just surrogacy in regards carrying, or are they saying surrogacy in regards them getting sort of an egg from somebody else? That part I didn't quite understand, and I wish we'd gone further into that conversation. I'm going deep, aren't I? Anyway, it was cute to see them. They seem to enjoy each other's company, so that was great. You had Cade. He arranged a date. So he arranged a date for himself, Xavier, and Devon. And then the girls were Shannon, Ashley, and Ashanti. So they went go karting. And it was cute to see everyone was very competitive. And the way they were bumping into each other. I thought the girls were very good actually because none of them threw a tantrum. I'm not sure how someone like Emily or Dominic would have felt about that. But the fact that they were, let's go by the flow, let's just do what everybody else is doing. I found that really cute. I found that really endearing. You then had this conversation while they were out there between Devon and Shannon. I loved their little geek out session. I really did. I love a geek. I love their little geek out session and how they were sort of chatting. They seem to get along very well. Devon is a new man. I remember the girl saying, no matter how you change him, you can never change. So the fact that the girls are actually showing interest in him and they're understanding who he is as a person, I'm here for it and I love it. You had Cade sit down for a chat with Ashley. They spoke about their love languages, which I thought was really cute. They were really sweet though, because they tried to be as open as possible in regards what they want in a partner, what they look for in a relationship. And she was saying, Cade is very emotionally intelligent. He is there's depth to what he says. And so it was cute to see them sort of have this chat about, love languages. And he said, his physical touch. I love that she called him out and told him that every man's love language is physical touch. So this is nothing new. We all know this. So hey, it is what it is. But it was a very good date and I really loved it. The guys met up with Tommy to sort of discuss the girls and see who they felt wasn't it. The guys agreed that Ashley, they said they liked her vibe. She's very confident. She's got a great personality. She's resilient and she's mature, given that she's one of the younger girls in the group. Shannon, they thought she was quirky. She's a great vibe and she gives wifey sort of vibes, which I loved. Nicole, they said she was classy. You had Vince say, she was open to new things. We were at the skating ring and she kept falling on her bum, but she was open to sort of trying this little trick that we're doing. And then Ed, I think, realizing that people were speaking about, about Nicole, he had to speak. Yes, she's amazing. She's always given, conservative vibes. And so it's nice to get to know her, not in a sexual way, but just to know her as a person. And it's like, oh, Ed is about to block people here. I don't think he likey. Laura, they said, she's got nice chat. She gives wifey vibes. I don't know. I really don't. And then Bello spoke up for Dominic, and it's like Bello is going to do anything and everything within his power to save Dominic. That's the impression that I get. He's going to fight as hard as he can to save Dominic. So hey, it is what it is. The guys then didn't sort of bond with Emily. They said the aesthetics. Sadly for her, they didn't like the fact that she kept putting her boobs out. They said she's she's hypersexual, and she's too much. I think she's too much because of the way she went off the fence. That wasn't necessary. And somebody said they're not, she's not their type. So it was like, oh, this is bad. Donna, you had them say there was no sexual spark for a connection. And it's like she's a great girl. I don't know why they're not giving her an opportunity. I think she needs to be given an opportunity to grow that. Darius also brought up that they clashed over the issue of, him putting on a persona, so he saw a red flag in her in that. And it's like Darius is going to get her out because he doesn't want her to contaminate the rest of the pool. Because if she goes telling the rest of the girls that this is what she feels, then everybody else is going to be put off him. So I think this is why he's going to try his best to get her out. Tommy then revealed that the guys need to make a decision of who's going to meet up with the girls and tell them, they're not ready to love. Chris met up with Emily. I was pleasantly surprised. He sort of told her because she asked for constructive feedback, and he said there was a barrier. The guys felt there was a barrier, and that it was very hard to chat with her, and that she leads with sex and some. And then she turned around and said, she's not open to making a change. If someone likes her, they're going to like her for who she is. Otherwise, they can keep it stepping. She was told the guys felt she's not ready to love. Was she surprised? No. And she didn't take that very well because sadly she was sent for the second mixer and then now she's dumped. At least she got to get that. I wish my favorite diamond had been given that opportunity, but hey, it is what it is. Donna met up with Steve. He felt like she needs to be honest, and some of the guys are religious and she is saying she's spiritual, so that's something that they're sort of questioning whether it will work. They did share a couple of jokes and then she was told that she was going to stay. She, I think, needs to do a lot of work. I think she needs to do a lot of humble pie. She needs to sort of have a conversation with Darius and sort of ask for forgiveness and see if they can sort of get over that, because if she doesn't, Darius is going to keep coming after her every week. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 2. Bye everyone.